My soul, come away.
Teresa Sarver.
To hunger, to
My name's Casey Quinn.
to thirst.
Dave Harris.
Hi guys, my name's Kristen Fisher. I'm the Director of Confirmation Prep at OLPH, and we are really excited to welcome you into our process to prepare for confirmation this year. The church is going to help you a lot to get ready to receive the Holy Spirit on Confirmation Day, and we're going to partner with your parents and with your sponsors to really help you to totally open your heart to all that the Lord wants to pour out on you on Confirmation Day and beyond. So we have a couple ways that we help you get ready. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to do on your own with your parents, with your sponsors, and just on your own time. This has to be a personal commitment. But there's a couple key ways that OLPH is going to help you get ready for confirmation. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a big confirmation kickoff night later this fall. Your parents and you are going to come, everyone's going to come to one night where we kick things off and we talk about what confirmation is. What does the Lord want to be doing through the sacrament of confirmation? We know that each sacrament has a specific purpose and a specific goal. Each sacrament gives us real grace for real life. What is it going to do for your real life? What does the Lord want to be doing? We need to talk about it, and we need to start welcoming that work of the Lord so that on Confirmation Day you're ready to receive what He wants to give. So that's the first thing, the kickoff night later this fall. The second thing we're going to do is go on an overnight retreat. There will be 2 overnight retreat options. Both of them take place in January. It's a one-night retreat. It's up at Bellarmine Retreat House in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful snow-covered mountaintop, and it's a great opportunity to get away from the distractions of the world, get away from your routine of life, and give God a little more room and a little more opportunity to really speak directly to you. He's always speaking to us, but often we don't hear Him because we're busy and we're distracted and we've got stuff going on. So we want to set everything aside and give Him a solid 24 hours to speak. We're going to pray together, we're going to play together, you're going to hear some awesome talks from some really awesome people, and you're going to have time to just listen to the Lord. And we're going to teach you how to do that better, how to open the ears of your heart, so to speak, a little more deeply to hear Him a little bit more intimately and encounter Him in a very real way.
Hi everybody, my name's Teresa Sarver. I'm a senior at Mount DeSales. I'm a parishioner here at OLPH, and I also help out with peer ministry. While on retreat, it was really important for me, and I'm talking any retreat, not just my confirmation retreat, to put any worldly distractions away. So while I was sitting in adoration, I wasn't thinking about what was going on Twitter, what was going on Instagram, what was I missing on the outside world. I was really just plugged into what all was going on in my own heart and what was going on in my spiritual relationship with God. Personally, during confirmation retreat, I realized I actually had no relationship with God. During prayer, I would just sit and listen, barely, just look around, and I actually didn't get that much out of it until towards the end of the weekend, when the more emotional things started happening and I felt impacted in a deeper way. But that was only because I had opened my heart in a way that pushed all of the junk aside that I deal with at home day to day, and I really just accepted that I'm here for a purpose, and that purpose is to hear what God has planned for me and what I'm supposed to do in that next step.
Hello, my name is Dave Harris, and I am part of the OLPH Confirmation Retreat team. This year will mark my 8th year participating in this amazing event and opportunity. My introduction to the confirmation retreats began my daughter's 8th grade year, and I actually went on that trip with her thinking that that would be something great for her and I to do together, and had no expectations other than the fact that it was going to bring my daughter and I closer together and strengthen our relationship. Immediately I found out, once I arrived on campus, that the retreat experience was not only going to be for her, but there was going to be a huge part for me as well. As a parent, it put me back on my faith journey. I witnessed one of my daughter's best friends who was going through a hard time be overwhelmed by the Holy Spirit and broke her down into tears. And from that day forward, this amazing event has been something that I've been glad to participate in, even beyond my daughter's year. So since that trip, I have fully committed to this wonderful team and have accompanied Kristen and her team on 7 other trips. And each of them have had their own, they take on their own personality, but what's always commonplace is the team's ability to express their love for God, express in an authentic way their faith journey from beginning to middle to end, sharing their experiences, breaking down walls, breaking down barriers that these young kids, these young children have come to know out in the world.
So after the overnight retreat, we're going to have some classes. Everyone's going to participate in 7 weeks of classes. They run from late January until the middle of March. And they're not classroom classes. I don't want you to be thinking like, oh, I have to go learn facts and memorize stuff. We want you to really dive deeper into your personal faith. So we're going to present challenges. We're going to present truths of the faith. We're going to present the words of Jesus himself, and we're going to dive into it, and we're going to pull it apart, and we're going to see what is the Lord trying to say to me specifically through this? How can I make this real for my life as a teenager in Ellicott City? How can I make this real for my life and what the Lord has in store for me? There's going to be a lot of discussion, and it's going to require a lot of participation on your part. There's also going to be an aspect that you do at home with your parents. There's going to be weekly assignments that you do at home with your parents to keep the conversation going, to make sure that your family gets to be part of this. You don't just show up to OLPH, get ready for confirmation, and go back home as if nothing ever happened. This is a process that your family has always been part of since the day you were baptized, and is going to continue to be part of after confirmation. So we want them to be included in the actual preparation process. So 7 weeks of classes.
My name's Casey Quinn. I've been a parishioner here at OLPH for my entire life. Part of the confirmation prep team and process for quite a number of years now. And I'm so excited that we are going to be working together for our confirmandi and for our families of this parish. So calling them confirmation classes is probably a little bit of a misnomer. Here, confirmation classes are a lot more fun. It's more kind of like a time to catch up with friends who you share a common interest with. It's a chance to dive deeper in your faith, to talk about it with your peers, to maybe talk about your faith and what you're experiencing and going through and all that you're learning with an adult, different than your family or like a teacher would be even in school. So it's really more of an outlet. It's more of a time to collaborate, a time to share. It's about the furthest thing you can get from a class as you could think. There's lots of learning, but there's also lots of fellowship and fun.
My name's Steve Proctor. I've been a parishioner here since 1991. One of the things I always talk about when I coach is especially with football, it's such a unique sport because it is a lot of physical activity, is the kids that play that, I tell them that if they really are going to be successful at being a football player, they have to take this long journey. And it's probably one of the longest journeys they'll ever take. And it's only 18 inches. And that journey is from here to here. I can teach the kids a lot of the skills, but I can't make them passionate and just want to just give everything they have to the sport. And it was interesting that I saw that same thing when I started getting more involved in confirmation here.
The next thing you're going to be doing is a half-day retreat. Those are both in the spring. They are hopefully right before you get confirmed. It's an opportunity for you and your parent, again, to come here at OLPH. We go to Mass together, we have dinner together, we play some games, we laugh a lot, we hear some really good talks, and we have some really good discussions. As family, but also as a community of faith, how do we take these next steps forward? What is that going to look like? What can't it look like? What is the Lord doing? So it's a whole process that we want to help you on, and we're going to journey with you during this process. You're also going to be working, like I said, with your sponsor. We're going to have a couple conversations that we want you to have with your sponsor, whether they're down the street or around the world. We're going to send direct communication to the sponsor and ask them to have direct conversations with you, whether it's via FaceTime or Skype or in person. We want them to be able to share their own faith story with you, and for you candidates to be able to ask your questions and share your struggles and share all that's going on with your sponsor. They are supposed to be sort of mentoring you deeper into the faith. And so we're going to ask you to be getting in touch with them and having conversations with them as well.
So the Confirmation Half Day Retreat is really a chance to touch base and reconnect with all that you've experienced through your confirmation journey. It's a preparation process. We call it a journey. We call it all of these different things because it's never going to be this one-time hit home and you're all done with it type deal. The Half Day Retreat allows you to reflect and recap on all of it. So from your service, to your confirmation classes, to your retreat, to the conversations you're having at home with your family, it's a time to bring it full circle. So it's very close to the date of your actual confirmation. You get to meet with your parents and other parents of the confirmandi and all the confirmandi youth and reconnect with some of the peers and the adult team and just get psyched about what's to come at your confirmation.
The last part of our official confirmation prep process is the service projects. We're going to require you each to do 3 total service projects. One has to benefit OLPH parish community directly. We should be involved in the church. It's not just for some people to serve everyone else at the church. Every Catholic should be involved in their parish, doing something. So do something at the parish: altar serving, music ministry, help with the fall festival, help with breakfast with Santa, help with the Lenten soup suppers, help with something here at the parish. Get to know the dozens of different ways that you can be involved here, in big ways and in small ways, long-term, short-term. Get to know it and then get involved in it. That's your first project. Your second project has to be for the community. Something that happens to benefit the people outside of the parish, because we're not just looking inward, we're also looking outward. We need you to serve in soup kitchens. We need you to serve through clothing drives and toy drives. We need you to help with trash cleanup and keeping the environment clean. Different ways that you can serve the community. The last project is a really fun one. We added this component last year, and we'll share more about it next week in our next video that we send out. But the last project is going to require you to do service with your parent, doing hands-on ministry with the poor. The Lord speaks very clearly in the gospel that we need to love the poor and we need to do stuff. And it's not enough to just gather money and send it to them so that someone else can help them. It's not enough to just gather resources and send it off and hope it makes its way and makes a difference. We need to be interacting in a real way with people who need us, with people who need some good news, with people who need hope, with people who need help. So we'll have some partnerships available that you can kind of tap into. We've partnered with some soup kitchens downtown and with some other organizations around the community where you and your parent will go and serve together in a hands-on way for people in need. So that's it. It's a pretty simple process. A kickoff night, an overnight retreat, some classes, a half-day retreat with your parents, some service projects, some time and conversations with your family, and some conversations with your sponsor. This is what we're going to do to help you get ready for all that the Lord has in store for your confirmation day and beyond. So there are a couple things that we're going to need from you in order to start this preparation process. The first thing we're going to need from you is a real commitment. You can't do a sacrament halfway. There's no way in which we can do this and not really mean it. So we need a commitment of your heart, we need a commitment of your mind, and we need a commitment of your time. When you sign up to participate in a class or in a retreat, we need you to really commit to it in its entirety. So we're asking for a commitment of your time, and that's going to be a commitment on your parents' part as well, because obviously they're going to have to bring you here and bring you home and work with you at home on the parent piece that we'll be sending out each week.
It's not another thing to do, another job, another assignment in their 8th grade year. The retreat, the confirmation retreat, is an absolute essential part.
The next thing we need is a commitment of your attitude. Often it's easy when there's a process and there's a lot of stuff to turn in or there's a lot of components to be completed. It's easy to look at this as boxes to be checked off in order to complete a project and finish a goal. And that's not what we're doing at all. Please don't look at any of this process as just a whole bunch of hoops to jump through or just a whole bunch of things to complete so that you're magically ready for confirmation in the spring. That's not how it works. You will only be ready if you fully participate in all of the preparation that we give you and if you're praying on your own at home. The Lord has a lot in store for you. There's no question about that. The question is, how ready will you be to receive what He has and to hear what He has to say? And that depends entirely on you. So as you come into this, please try to embrace the process, and please try to open your heart to the Lord. He wants to be saying an awful lot to you if you're ready to listen.
And as a parent, going on that retreat with her opened my eyes to why we're doing what we're doing at this age for these children. As a parent, you know, our job is to mold and to put our kids in the best place to be successful.
I just invite you guys to really think about what this process is and what you're preparing your heart to do. And when you go on retreat, go with an open mind. Don't just think, oh, I'm wasting a weekend up doing some church camp thing. Really think about what you're doing to prepare your heart for this process.
It took a long time to get back to where I am today. I hope it doesn't take you that long. But God was always there. He doesn't go away. He's like, you know, just that nag. But it's a good nag because He constantly is just there waiting for you to open your heart to let Him in. For me, it was about a 35-year journey before I really all of a sudden realized that it was time to let Him in. I encourage you guys, don't wait that long. You have an opportunity going through this process to do the same thing now.
So you can probably tell how excited I am for confirmation, for our family, for our youth, for our entire parish, for our church at large. And in large part because I know how confirmation as a sacrament can transform lives and families. For me, I didn't want to get confirmed. It was a huge fight with my mother. My confirmation retreat was the start of a change, the start of opening the doors to my heart wide to the Lord, and just over time, He kind of filled my life and my soul with all the love and joy that He had in store for me that I had blocked Him from previously. So it was a turning point, really. It wasn't this overnight huge change, but it planted the seed, my confirmation, for all of the gifts of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Throughout high school, I just dove deeper in my faith. I got really involved in church and peer ministry and different service opportunities. So much so that by my senior year, I looked like an entirely different person, and I realized it was time to invite my mom in. And I invited her onto a retreat with me to just understand how I experienced the church and my faith. And because of that, because I took that leap of faith to reach out to my mother to share my faith in that way, our relationship is tremendously different and more blessed and more beautiful than it ever could have been before. And my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. So for all the confirmandi out there, my challenge to you is get your families involved.
We're really excited to journey with you. We're really excited to help you get all the way to confirmation and actually be ready for it. We don't expect you to be ready for it now. That's why we have the process that we do. But if you have an openness to the Holy Spirit and a willingness to join us on this journey, you're going to be just fine. And I think you're going to be pretty amazed at what the Lord wants to do in and through your life with the sacrament of confirmation.
Spirit of the living God, come fall afresh on me. Come wake me from my sleep. Blow through the caverns of my soul.